Okay, so here we are, back with Match Chats and a very early Saturday morning, very cold Saturday morning in January. But I'm delighted, absolutely over the moon, to be speaking with not just a bad girl and a beautiful liar. I'm with the one and only Loz Campbell. Hello.
That doesn't really portray me in a good light, does it?
Nothing like a good intro, is there?
It's impressions.
But you know what I like is you go online and you look about what people write about him and your own little bio, fierce, incendiary, all that kind of stuff. Fire.
And the band always laugh at that because obviously everybody else sees me as me. And then there's like the stage me. And I'm sure the stage me is a bit more fierce than the cup of tea, 10 o'clock drinking me.
Well, you're obviously a bit of a gardener. It's a nice green bush you got behind you there. Is that a love of yours?
It's not mine. No, it's not mine. I'm like a bit of a gypsy, really, like a musical gypsy. I'm never in one place, so
roving around.
Yeah,
I like that. But you hail from Yorkshire, and I said I like that. I was speaking to Jackie Chambers from Girls' School last week, and she's from Yorkshire. It breeds a lot of great bands and great musicians. I don't know what it is. It's something to do with the steel that you have in you.
Good water.
What is the water and the Pennines? Anyway, listen, thanks for joining me this morning. We both got, actually, by the time this interview comes out, we'll have both done it, but we're both at the HRH NWOCR gig over the weekend in Leicester. I think we're on before you. So a great thing is I get a chance to come and watch you, which is good. So I'll do that. But by the time this has happened, what a great gig. Honestly, seriously, Loz, you were amazing.
I know.
You enjoyed it?
I'm buzzing because, to be honest, I didn't even know that Leicester had an O2 when the gig came through. I was like, all right, Leicester has an O2. Right, cool. Yeah, we're doing it.
You got quite a busy year coming up. Now, doing through my notes, I see that you've got an EP coming out, self-titled. So the EP is called Loz Campbell. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Egotistical as always.
No, nothing wrong with that. With your alluring, fierce, incendiary kind of performance, I think that's what that goes on. You want to do it. Those of you who haven't come across Loz Campbell, you should. I was just saying her off air that I actually came across a track of hers about 3 years ago, and it was called Back to Biting the Bullet. Is that right?
Yeah.
Really good song. And I used to have it on one of my playlists. This is great, I never thought one day I'd get to speak to the great Loz Campbell, and here I am having this chat with you. Desperately trying to make it more interesting than your last interview that I saw on. Can I say that? So anyway, tell me, you got a Heartbreaker tour. Tell me about the Heartbreaker tour, because this is coming up. I think you've got a guitarist I've heard of called Alice Abom playing with you.
Yeah, everyone knows Alice.
Well, I know of her,
everyone knows of it, yeah. So this is following on from the EP coming out. It's called Heartbreaker because it's Valentine's week.
Good.
Why not? Sticking with the bad girl theme, Heartbreaker. Fierce.
Yeah, incendiary.
Actually, that one's not about me, but
So the Heartbreaker tour, and then I think you're doing about 7. You're doing about 7 venues. I think you're doing Birmingham, Manchester, Nottingham. You come in London. Your place called the Waiting Room. Where's that?
I've never been there. Don't know where it is. No, I've not been there before. But a lot of people are saying that it's a good place. So looking forward to it.
Excellent. Well, I've never heard it. I've been to a few waiting rooms, but certainly not that one. So there you are. You're playing a new venue. But it's throughout February. It's called Heartbreaker because of the Valentine theme. So that's a nice idea. I will definitely try and get to that one. Actually, I like it's a midweek gig as well, so that's always good.
London.
Yeah.
I think it's Friday night.
Oh, that's not midweek at all. That's at the end of the week, isn't it? That's a Friday. It's a weekend. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
It's Friday. Woohoo!
If I'm not, I'll come down. So okay,
cool.
let's take it back a little bit. Growing up as a young girl in the wonderful county of Yorkshire, what inspired you? What made you want to become, a musician yourself?
I always had I always say this, but I always had an internal drive to create music, any type of music when I was younger. So I used to play like in the orchestra, and I used to stay on like on a Saturday morning. Like I've always got up early on a Saturday morning because we used to start at like 9 o'clock and finish at 12 and do like, you know, group music work.
Sure.
And I did that for about 10 years. And I used to even stay on and do the easier classes just because I loved being there in you know, in that environment. And then as I got a bit older, into my teenage years, I really got into the rock music, you know, thanks to my uncle and that. And I wanted to play what I was listening to. So I said, oh, you know, Mum, I really want a guitar. And she's like, yeah, but I've just got you loads of flute lessons and you're doing me head in, and, you know. So I was like, right. She was like, right, pick one, flute or guitar. So I was like, right, no, guitar. And I'm so glad I did, because, you know, I wouldn't have met all the people that I have done now. But then I was trying to like desperately get my friends to learn, you know, drums and that, so we could start a band, and nobody else was really eager enough. So I set out on my own solo. I just accidentally got up at an open mic night. Someone was like, she can sing. and I really didn't want to sing at all. And I never really classed myself as a singer now. I kind of forget, but I am a front woman, but guitar is my main thing in my head. It's just guitar. But when I've been in the studio, and I'm going off on a tangent here, but when I went in the studio last time to do Beautiful Liar, I was stood in the vocal booth, and I was just like that. To be honest, I'm proud to say like that is my best vocal work, I think, that I've personally done. And my producer, who's worked with me from Backbiting the Bullet for the last 4 years up until now, even said to me, you are a singer.
Do you know, like, I mean, I hear it in you anyway. I could see it. I love the drive that you've got. You know, I think there's something that you notice in, you know, I guess being a performer myself, it's something I appreciate, and I love to watch performers. I love to see someone giving everything they have, and the fact that you have that humble approach to that, you don't see yourself as that, is what comes across, and actually adds to your whole kind of charisma. And you've got charisma, and I can see it in your performing. Yeah, playing guitar and singing is a very unique thing to be able to do well. Usually one's a great guitarist or a great singer, but I think you have both, and it's a great thing to see. I was chatting to Cassidy Paris a couple of weeks back, and she's, you know, is a phenomenal girl, and
yeah, we played with Cassidy.
You have, and she supported her dad, so it was interesting. You said your uncle supported you.
Well, my family, really, you know, mum and dad were always into rock music, and, you know, my grandparents now still do the merch, you know, so everybody's got the little part to play.
That's brilliant. And so once you form the band, and obviously you go through the process of doing the gigs and playing and doing the hard yards, and just when you're getting somewhere, bang, comes a pandemic, and how does that affect you personally?
Well, that was just after we released Backbiting the Bullet, and we did the whole A-Rate Records. That song got on the A-Rate record compilation album, and we got to play O2 Islington, and we were like, that was our third O2 by the time I was like 20. And I was like thinking, Christ, you know, I might be able to quit my coffee shop job, like, you know. And then I thought, oh dear. And it makes you think, right, maybe I need a backup plan, or like, what am I doing? I think everybody reevaluated everything in their lives. And I wasn't really sure how the band was going to come out of lockdown, because at the time I had my ex-partner playing bass for me. He was getting a bit fed up with it. Me and the drummer Tom, still fairly, you know, very young and eager. So thankfully lockdown gave us the time, you know. So I broke up with my bass player, and we got the time to sort of rejig the band and get the band that I've always wanted. And obviously Alice Bates, that's another friend of mine that's played for me, but Alice A-Bomb is now our guitarist.
She's very thrilled about it. She's posted something on Facebook this week saying how much she loved getting back with the band vibe and stuff. So it's a mutual thing there. But I mean,
there's so much mutual respect in this band. Like, I've never ever experienced anything like it. And I think you can see that in the pictures as well. There's like a bubble of just aura around us it's magic. I love it.
No, that's great. I tell you, I was saying to Jackie, I was saying that it's so nice. There's such a powerful force of female singers coming through and performers coming through.
Yeah.
A lot of them, from Shez Kane, Els Bay, just this strong, and it's great, ruling the roost in rock at the moment with a real direction, a real power lyrically, and something to say. And I think that's what music should be all the time. It's always evolving, but certainly it's so very, very powerful at the moment. And you're part of that. Your Heartbreaker tour, which is 7 dates throughout the whole of UK. Guys, you haven't got tickets, go on to Loz's her website or tickets and buy and go and see her. She's a great performer, really, really good front person, and very modest, and makes a good cup of coffee then, obviously, if she worked in a coffee shop. Is that right?
Yeah, hopefully.
A roccaccino, that's what we'll have.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that's it. So it must have been difficult being in a band with a partner. I mean, that must be tough. I mean, especially if you split up. I mean, not the ABBA, winner takes it all. It wasn't quite like that, obviously.
No, I mean, yeah, it's great. When it's good, it's really good,
Yeah.
You can be with each other all the time, which is what a lot of people struggle, being away from the partners and being on the road or whatever. But big age gap, and yeah.
Yeah, my wife has got no interest in what I do whatsoever. I mean, people don't even think we're together. We've been together about 30 years, and she doesn't care. I've just gone for the weekend, Friday, Saturday. I'm gigging to come back. Doesn't care what I'm doing. I start talking about the music. She switch off. It's like, okay.
It works or it doesn't. That's the thing, and you find your person that it works with, don't you?
I think so. I mean, music is a very personal thing, but it's so nice when you can share it with someone else. I think that's important. You see a lot of these Hollywood kind of romances and stuff, and actors and actresses, and they fail because they're both ego driven. There's both these two egos clashing. But I think if it's something that if you respect what the other person's doing and you see where they're coming from, and you both know you kind of knock it out. There's a kind of compromise in it. I think that's the way forward anyway.
Yeah, totally.
Good. I'm glad we agreed on that. But also, I mean, coming from up north, and we know. I mean, I'm with my band. I've said this before. Really hard playing in London and learning around the sort of apathy, indifference that you get down here. Whenever I play up north, the friendliness of people and the kind of receptiveness certainly towards rock. So in some ways, it's not so much of a struggle playing the clubs up there. That's the impression I get. Would you feel? Sorry, Karen.
I always disagree on this point with everyone, because everybody always says that about London, and actually our biggest pull is London, and that's showing on like the tour as well. And thanks to good friends of mine, Healthy Junkies, they put us on the London map. Basically, they put us on the scene when I was very young. I was probably about 18, 19. And we built up, and we did probably about 7 or 8 shows in London within like the space of a year or something. And I don't know what it is about it. There's just, people will come out every day of the week. If it's a Wednesday, cool, people come out.
Yeah.
In the north, people there are lots and lots of good rock venues, lots. But I think people are more inclined in London to have that almost European sort of social life, where, let's meet up with friends and go down.
Central London, I agree with you. And I've done the hard yards, and I think it's, I've got a book coming out about it. I know what I'm saying. I'm just saying on a different level, it tends to be more orientated to what's in. I mean, when I was first really at it, it was all the grunge scene, and I was trying to fight over that, trying to play 80s rock against the backdrop of that was really difficult. And then music sort of changes and evolves, and then people are looking around for things. And then sometimes there's like a resurgence of a certain type of music, and then that's it. And I think on the wave now, with this new wave of classic rock or whatever you want to call it, it is helping bands. It is helping, being attached to that kind of banner, if you like. As I said, we don't mind that. We had a thing we used to call ourselves the classic unsigned natural talent. You can make your own acronym out of that. But there you go. So it's interesting to hear you say that, and pleasing for me that you are finding that in London. With the band itself and putting the band and changing over, and now you played as a 3-piece as well, with just you playing guitar and then brought in session guitar. So is Alice now part of the band officially, or just the tour? You're smiling.
I'm not sure if I'm meant to say or not.
Okay, all right. We'll move on from that question. I don't want to put you in anything. We could. Yeah,
but what I can say is she will be there a lot more this year, if that makes sense.
Okay, hello. There's something we can ponder for ourselves. Well,
yeah,
will the A-bomb be part of the Incendiary stage show that we'll have to see? So that's good. So the new EP, how many tracks on the new EP?
5.
5.
Yeah.
And they're all completely new?
There's Bad Girl, Beautiful Liar, a new one on there, which is Coffee Cup, and then there's 2 live recordings, which we did for the BBC.
Oh, nice. Oh, Coffee Cup. Coffee
Yeah.
Cup. So that's obviously responding to the job that you had working in a...
No, actually.
No,
because that job's years back now. That was in my teens. But no, this song is about neighbour wars and noisy coffee machines in the morning that you don't want to hear, but you do want to drink the coffee.
Excellent. I've got my own coffee machine now, actually. I've got that over there, that Crooks one. It's lovely. It says clean me now, so I've got to clean it, which is a bit worrying, but I'll have to go and clean it in a minute. I love that. I wake up in the morning, that sound of it just going is like, that's it. That's the start of the day.
That's the sound that I hate, which is where the song came from.
It's because it reminds you of work.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Now, you've done 2 live tracks for the BBC. Now, I'm very impressed, actually, with Alex Holcomb. I think she's amazing. I love the energy that she has. Oh, right, I told you.
Yeah, she's yet to play us, so.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I'll have a word
Alex, please play us.
Do you ever get those old BBC introducing us, listen to your track? I've got about 100 of those. It doesn't mean they're going to play it.
The thing is, they have been played, like Bad Girl, Beautiful Liar, Backbiting the Bullet. They've all been played. Christine Carlisle, thanks so much. You know, BBC Sheffield. We've been on BBC Leeds as well. I know they're having a hard time at the minute, so we will put a shout out in for them. But yeah, I would like to get on 6 and 1. So Alex, please listen to my pleads.
I'll make sure she sees this. I'll send her this interview.
Thank you.
Okay. Have you seen that film Bank of Dave yet? Have you watched it?
No, I'm not a big TV person.
Okay, well this film, okay, it sort of centers around a true story about a guy who set up his own bank, the first bank to be ever set up, and he was in Burnley in Lancashire. Anyway, he gets Def Leppard to play it there, and they're from Sheffield. That was the kind of, I was coming back to Yorkshire with that, but it's
I know they're from Sheffield.
It's a pretty good. They were my heroes growing up as well. One of my heroes growing up, Def Leppard.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great stuff. So tell me, what does Loz do in her spare time when she's not rocking or making coffee or not gardening?
Well, I used to be precision engineer, but not anymore. I've gone off on a new adventure now, which I keep fairly private, but things will be revealed kind of in the near future. But yeah, I'm doing something that's very involved outside of my music and using every brain cell I have. Some people might laugh at that, but I'm
intrigued.
Yeah, I like to keep it separate from my music, but apart from that, like hobby-wise, I love to ride motorbikes. I used to play a lot of sport. I don't now because I had a bit of a medical thing where I can't. My spleen kind of screams at me now and again, but I can't play sport as much as I didn't. But yeah, motorbikes. Bike a
I'll
injure my spleen that way.
Oh, you got to do a video on a bike then. You got to do one of those videos.
I have done, yeah.
Oh, you have done?
I've done. Yeah, well, I rode my bike in the Bad Girl video.
Oh, I have to watch that one. I've just listened to that track. I watched that. Oh, there you go. There's something we look forward to this afternoon. I'm going to look for Bad Girl video. That'll be on there.
I was in heels for the shoot and I didn't really think it through. I mean, they were fairly chunky ones, but I can't play on stage. I've tried to play on stage in them and I just can't. But great for photo shoots when you're standing still and looking fierce. But riding a motorbike, and I thought, oh God, I've got to brake, and I don't know if I can brake. And I said to my, videographer Amy that was videoing it, I says, oh my God, I can't. I don't know if I can brake. I don't know if I can brake. And I just did it, and it looked so cool in the video because I just brake, chuck it to one side, and walk off. And I'm like, that could have gone very bad.
There's probably a YouTube video on how to brake in heels on a motorbike. I mean, there's plenty of videos on like how to, if I want to do something, I just literally write in, how do I fix the washing machine? I just Google in, and there's always some bloke. It's usually American, and there's usually about 10 minutes of waffle, and then you get to what you need to do. So I'm sure there's one, how to sort of brake on a motorbike in heels. But I've got something to look forward to now. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, that's going to be it. So right, we've got the Heartbreaker tour. We've got an EP coming out. You've got gigs. You're playing, obviously, will have played the new wave of classic rock. Later in the year, you're probably playing the other one, the new wave of Richard Brindley's one, the new wave of classic rock. That one, and
still now, yeah, woohoo!
That's good. So there are. You're definitely under that. You're definitely under that banner.
Something else for March, which I can't announce. There's lots of stuff that I can't say, and it's
you can't talk about, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's massive. The March tour.
Ooh. Is this? I mean, so we always discover that you might be a nuclear scientist or something, or doing something that we can't talk about. It's away from music.
Close.
Oh no, I'm not a million miles away. I'm reading into you. I'm getting a little taste of what you're about. Loz Campbell, the first woman to land on the moon. We'll see what happens, but that's coming. And then we got obviously all these things that we can't talk about. Maybe off air we can just chat about them, so that I can keep it to myself. We'll have a drink tomorrow, or would have been tomorrow. When we're there. You're on at 8 o'clock tomorrow, aren't you?
6, I think.
It's on 6. Oh, well, I'll get there at 6. I've got to do another of these interviews. I've got to interview Dax and Roxanne tomorrow. At some point. But it'll have to be after I've played. That's if we're not, chucked off with tomatoes and rotten eggs. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
What time are you on?
I think we're on at 4 p.m. I think, we will. On stage 2, yeah. I think that's what it is. They're opening up stage 2, so we'll just tear it up, bleary-eyed, and let's go. Are you staying over?
No,
going straight back.
Yeah, going back.
About the same distance for you that it is for us, probably. Leicester. Whereabouts in Yorkshire do you live?
I don't actually live in Yorkshire anymore, sadly. I miss it so much. Yeah.
But you've moved. But is that a secret as well?
Yeah. My new location is secret, but
that's the title of your new album, isn't it? Yeah, pocket full of secrets. Here we go.
Yeah, that's it. But I hail from Wakefield, unfortunately.
No, nothing wrong with that. I've been up there. It's a rugby league country. I grew up.
Yes.
I'm old enough to remember Eddie Waring and all the rugby league commentary and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
even though I am a Wakefield lass, I'm a Rhinos supporter.
Rhinos. Oh, here we go. Yeah, no, I used to know. Had a girl that came down with the Bradford Bulls. I used to live in Richmond, and they came down one weekend. Big lads they were. So I was having a drink like you do, and I chatting away to them. And this girl comes out. She said, "Oh, you like Bradford Bulls?" I said, "Well, I don't know who they are." And I sort of carried on the conversation. She was the most scary woman I've ever met in my life. She wouldn't leave me alone. She was stalking me. She was outside my house. I mean, honestly. It was a very scary experience. I thought rugby league, that's not for me. I can't be doing that. But hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
So what are you up to the rest of the week? I mean, by the time this will come out probably the first week in February, because I want to get just before your tour, because I want to encourage people to go and see this sultry, fierce, incendiary nuclear scientist on tour. Yeah. Do you wear heels on stage, or do you wear flats on stage when you're jumping around?
I wear docks. Yeah.
Docks, yeah. Easy to jump around. Yeah.
Well, not really. I've got really thin feet, so like docks are massive for me. So I end up just like sliding around in most of the set, but it's better than heels.
Yeah, well, I've never worn them, so I wouldn't. Well, actually, that's not true. But
maybe docs will hear this and make me. If they'll start doing slimline docs.
There you go, slimline Dr. Martin. Here, they might watch this. There's a few of them out there are rockers. They might.
And they'll have like Loz Campbell on the sole of them or something.
Docs.
I can see it.
Sultry, incendiary DMs.
All the way around the sole.
Yeah, that would look good. Do you know, when I was at school, there used to be Oxblood Doctor. They were like how many holes you've got. You know, it was like how many holes you got up your. And I'm showing my age a lot here, but how many holes you got up your Dr. Martens and your patch pocket trousers. And you go into school, and the first time I bought them, I'd never worn anything at school. I come into school, the sixth form director goes, Matt, go home. You can't dress like that. This vainness has got to stop. That's the first time I've ever worn anything in my life. And I get sent home. Classic, that is. Rock and roll. But no, I mean, that's neither here nor there. So you've got the EP come out, we've got the tour, we've got a 4-piece band that's kick-ass. Everyone's going to be very excited. And merchandise, now that's quite important. What's happening with that?
It's being printed currently. We've got 2 new t-shirt designs because we've gone for like the front of the EP is like a cartoon design. We do this thing at the end of the set where we go into a pyramid. And so we've got like a cartoon version of all of us in the pyramid that's plastered all over the EP front, which is going to be on the back of the t-shirt. And then we've got obviously a new design for Coffee Cup that my very good friend's done for me. And it's cool. It's got like a skull and a coffee's cup pouring into it. So very cartoonified. I don't know how we've gone down that route, but we have. No,
it's good. You talk about the pyramid. Years ago, I supported a band called Tokyo Blade, an old band from the 80s, and they did the human pyramid, but they just got this new singer in. And we were playing in a place in Guildford, and they turned up this small pub with their European tour truck, which couldn't fit in the car park. Anyway, they'd all planned up to do this big pyramid at the end. It took them about 10 minutes to get it right. It was all there.
That's a good thing about us is that I'm like 7.5 stone soaking wet, so I can just get straight up there for doing like 10 squats.
With your slimline Dr. Martens on the top, you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, listen, thanks so much for talking to me this morning, Loz. You're a superstar. You are a really talented singer, performer. I think there's big things happening for you, young lady, and I'm really pleased it is because, you know, when you hear songs and then you think, what do I happen to that person? Then I see that you're back and you've got the Heartbreaker tour. Good luck with that. Good luck with the nuclear scientist stuff or whatever it is I'm not supposed to talk about. And the other thing that's happening that we're not allowed to talk about. In fact, good luck with all the things that we're not allowed to talk about. And
it's a good interview.
Yeah, it's been a great interview. All these non-exclusives that we've had. Loz Campbell's taking over the world. Brilliant. It's been an absolute pleasure. Listen, have a great rest of your day. I will catch up with you tomorrow by the time people get this interview.
Yes, look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, we'll have fallen out by then. Not speaking to each other. Done a couple of shots and that's it. It's all over.
Yeah, after a pint, I might tell you all the
that's on. That's happening. That's happening. I was going to wry smile. My God, I didn't know that was happening. Cheers. So listen, you have a great rest of your day, all right? Thanks so much for talking to us, Loz.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.